wait till you dead. He said, I want to enjoy my now. And, and luckily, and you know, the father gave him his inheritance. And you know, when you give somebody that ain't never had nothing a lot of money, you know, they got to spend it. Okay. And this boy said he left the country. He went to a foreign land and he wasted. Oh, he wasted his substance with riotous. Oh yeah, he had a good time. He was the toast of the town. he was the party animal. Okay, had a posse. You know, had a lot of friends. You know, when you got money, yeah, well, you don't have no problem finding friends. When you walk in the bar and says, "Set them up," it's all on me. Everybody in the bar becomes your friend. But you know, when you spend like that, it ain't long until you are busted.
Same amount coming in as
what you spend, at least the same amount. Okay. Okay. We go down to verse number 14. And when he had spent all of it, in other words, when he was broke, there arose a mighty famine in that land. Now, now here we've got two things happening. Okay, the guy goes broke, and it ain't bad enough that he goes broke, but a famine hits the land on top of it. Okay, now if he'd have just been broke, and he probably could have went out and found a job, and basically he could have made it. He would have had to suck up his pride and go out and start working again. But he could have did that. But here comes a famine, and when there's a famine, there ain't no jobs. Everybody is suffering. Okay, so what does he do? What's a guy supposed to do? Okay. There was a famine in the land, and he began to be in want. He began to be in need. As only so long you can go without food. There's only so long you can go without something to drink. All right. There's only so long that you want to sleep out on the sidewalk. Okay, the guy is in need now. It's one thing about it when you have had money and you have spent it foolishly. Hindsight will kick your you know what. You will go around and you'll ask yourself, why did I do that? Okay, why didn't I save some? Okay, and he just it is kicking him. Okay, so when he began to be in want, and look at what he did. He went and joined himself to a citizen of that country, and he sent him into the fields to feed the pigs. Now, when you look at, well, remember when he got his money, the Bible says he went to a foreign country. He left Israel. Okay. Now, remember the story of the Gadarenes when Jesus went to Gadara, and he cast the demon out of this guy, and the demon went out and run into the pigs, remember, and the pigs ran down the hill. And okay, this was over in the Gadarene area, and that was a Gentile area. Okay, they raised pig. Now no self-respecting Jew would have anything to do with a pig. All right, because pigs were forbidden for them to eat. All right. Now, later in the New Testament, though, when Peter had that vision of that sheet coming down with all manner of food, and Peter said, Lord, ain't none of this stuff ever come across my lips. Jesus, I dare you call unclean what I have clean. So then God made it possible for us to enjoy pork if we wanted to, okay? But Jews still didn't have nothing to do with pigs, okay? Even today, Jews don't have nothing to do with pigs, most of them, right? They won't eat pork. But so it's believed that this boy moved and he went over to that area where they were raising pigs over there, okay? So when he gets the only job he can find is a job feeding the pigs. Okay. Now that is slopping hogs, okay? That must have been, so degrading to him. Okay. But you make your bed, the old folks used to say, what do? You lie in it. Okay. He didn't have nobody to blame for his condition but himself. Okay. So he's out there feeding the pigs, all right? Verse 16. And he would fain have filled his belly with the husk that the swine did eat, and no man gave unto him. Bless God, the pigs were eating better than this boy was. He looked over in that slop trough and said, boy, that slop looked good. Now, when y'all were in the country, did y'all used to feed the hog slop? Now if you're not from the country, don't know what slop was. Mama had this big old bucket under the counter, and bless God, all the table scraps and everything, it went in that bucket. Oh, what a smell! Mama, out there in the mill, she had to put it out on the back porch. And then at night, you took that stuff out there and you dumped it in the pig trough, and boy, them pigs would have lopped that stuff up, boy. Now, you didn't put no bones in there or nothing like that, all right? But, generally there was liquid in there, and everything would kind of salivate together, and boy, them pigs they love that stuff, boy. They it would fatten them hogs up, all right? And it was gross. And that's what they call slop. Now it says here that these guys fed their hogs grain. Okay, now we fed the hog grain, but when that hog ate some grain, he was getting ready to be killed.
Well, I know my father letting go the hogs in the field where he done.
Yeah, let them go into the field after he done pull all the corn. They'd eat the stalks and that kind of stuff. Yeah,
boy,
yeah.
The
pigs, they eat it up, boy. Didn't we eat the pig? Verse 17 says, now, when he came to himself. Now we all can relate to that statement. I once was lost, but now I am found. Okay? We all at some time or another have come to ourselves. Okay. Thank God the Lord let us come to ourselves. Okay. We realize where we were and the condition we were in,
Yes.
and God was right there to make it better for us. Hallelujah. Okay. Huh?
It's better when you realize it's yourself instead of people always telling you.
Oh, yes.
You know?
Yeah.
It's
And most of the time when people are trying to tell you that, you don't hear them. Okay. And because most of the time we are satisfied with where we are.
Yeah.
We can be lost as and don't know what, you okay? But we're happy out there we're lost because we don't know nothing better. Okay, that's the only life we've ever known, and there are people on this side telling us, brother, you need to look at yourself. You need to look at your life, and you need to get yourself together and come on over here. And we're saying, no, I'm happy where I'm at because this is the only life I've ever known, and I'm not willing to change it. Okay, but this boy, one day he woke up and realized where he was. He said, I'm a Jewish boy stuck out here in a pig pen feeding pigs. Slop. How much lower can I get? And you know, most of the time, a lot of people, they got to hit bottom. And you know, when you've gone as low as you can go, and you can't go no lower, you'll come to your senses. That's when your eyes are open. Okay. Now I thank God I didn't have to go that far. I was headed in that direction, all right, but the Lord didn't let me hit bottom, all right. Yeah. You went far enough down that trail, huh?
When I was a young man in Louisiana, I would hear all the time, they were talking about how great it was in Vegas.
Uh-huh.
Well, I ended up in Sacramento.
Okay.
My wife and I had a pretty nice car.
Uh-huh.
We had $500. My first time gonna be in Vegas.
Uh-huh.
We drove to Vegas.
Uh-huh.
$500. Now, I had a mind that you take up because you got to get back to
Yeah.
Now the rest of that money, I went in the Harris Club, I think it was.
Harris? Uh-huh.
Yeah. And I won coming in, I winning about $900. Well, he was in the one time,
Uh-huh.
and I had on a coat that had a lining in it.
Uh-huh.
And I had it all in the lining of my coat. And boy, I done well. Messed around there, boy, and when I know anything, I couldn't find nothing in the lining. I gave it all back. Now listen. Broken on a skunk.
Uh-huh.
They don't even have nothing to get the sandwich with. But I did have the tank full of
Thank God for that.
You wake it up, boy.
Yeah. Oh, hey, that's a story of so many people, you know. And you know, once you get that little money ahead, and something just keeps in your ear, and keep on going. Now, the minute you start losing, if you got a brain cell working at all, you get up and walk away. But you said, no, I feel lucky. I feel it. And you keep playing. And the next thing you know, you done lost not only that you won, but you done lost what you started out with. You were blessed, right? You were blessed, right? Every time I get a few dollars ahead, now what I started doing, I take them few dollars I got ahead, I put my base money out, put that back in my pocket, and I said, I ain't gonna touch that. If I lose all this, it's all over. But most people, they just keep on playing.
Let me tell mine.
Okay.
I've only been to Vegas one time in my life.
Okay.
I had never gone to Vegas, so the job had this trip.
Uh-huh.
Made
Uh-huh. They paid for everything. Okay.
And my boss told me, don't take any more money than you can afford.
That's what
But
you do.
all the guys kept telling me, oh, this is your first time, you're gonna be a big winner.
Yeah.
Lost
Be-
every dime.
Beginner's luck.
I didn't have enough money to buy
Yeah,
it.
that's what I
I
thought.
didn't have no money. I'm struggling the whole ride. I didn't go back.
First time that I ever went to Tahoe. Well, I guess Red and I had been married for a couple of years, and money was tight. We took $20 a piece.
Yeah,
It said, when this is gone,
yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
No, we didn't stay there. Well, we were just going up for the night. We went with Joe and Shirley and another couple. And, I think we left there at midnight. We went up there, got up there about 7 o'clock, and it was a one-day trip, okay? But we had $20 a piece, and we said, when this is gone,
Yeah. Well,
that's it.
I didn't think that smart. I thought that was what you said.
Well, you had $500, shoot.
I want quite a bit of more.
My rule
Oh,
my rule for the casino is $25.
$25.
I have a ways I play. I play the slot machine.
Uh-huh.
If I win there, I go to the blackjack table.
Uh-huh.
And that is where
Between the slot machine and blackjack. The only place I go is a slot machine. I don't know how to play blackjack.
and that $25 is all I do.
Yeah.
See, my son works.
Yeah, he works for the casino. I mean, he works for a hotel, right?
And when I was living in LA, I would drive from LA to Vegas,
Uh-huh.
and I would not go in the casinos.
Mm.
But then one day I said, well, I'll just do it.
That's
And I followed my rules. And
it.
when my $25 were gone, I was back on the road.
Now, that brings up an interesting question. Most people think it is, I guess, a sin to gamble. I mean, and they put a guilt trip on you if you go into even go into casinos and stuff. Okay, and with the way I gamble, I don't look at that as gambling. Okay, I got $20. I lose that $20 or $30. That's it. Okay, and to me, when you gamble, you're looking to get rich. And I know I ain't gonna get rich. I mean, the system there ain't gonna let you get rich. Okay, the deck is stacked against you, and they know if you got only $20, $30 to play, you gonna play till that $20, $30 is gone, and they got your $20, $30. Uh-huh. Yeah.
They
Watch. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. They know.
They already know which machines are
Right.
going to.
Right. But because really, when you say, but here's the idea behind gambling. When you gamble, you are taking your eyes off of God, and you are looking to that gambling to supply your needs. Okay, you're not looking to God anymore. You're looking to gambling to supply your needs.
Anything is a sin if you let it.
If you can let it be, absolutely. So I've never looked to gambling to supply my need. I'm looking at this is recreational. This is fun. Okay, the fun. It was fun. My God shall supply all my needs according to his riches and glory by Christ Jesus.
Allow a person to win.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
So
And-
he's gonna bring him
Right.
100 more.
Right. And everybody see him. Ooh. I'm going to play that machine.
He's gonna get it right back with you. Nothing left in
Right.
And boy, and see them
Not-
slots.
Not if you're not looking for it to take your. I mean, and you're looking for gambling to supply all your needs and take care of you, then that's a sin, because we're supposed to look to God. We're supposed to depend on God to supply our needs. Okay, so if you're doing it recreationally and you know you're not, as long as you know you ain't gonna get rich, and you're saying I got $20, I'm just gonna have some fun and do that, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
That's the word I've been using. That's right down there by Ray. No, it's not recreation.
I always make sure I have money in my pocket for food
There you go.
and money
And
to get
gas.
home.
Get home. Right. Yeah. Right.
You gotta have credit card.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. So he came to himself. Mhm. He said, how many hired servants of my father have bread enough and to spare, and I perish with hunger? He thought now when you come to yourself, it makes you think. Okay, and you go back and you think about most of the time where you come from. Okay, Lord, if I could just go back to where I come from and start all over again. Okay, how many of my father's hired servants have gotten more than what I got? And they eating better than I'm eating. At least they got something to eat. I'm out here ain't got nothing to eat. Except this slop. Now, look at what he says. He says, verse 18, I will arise and go to my father. Okay? And I will say unto him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and against thee, and I'm no more worthy to be called thy son. Make me as one of thy hired. In other words, Father, I'm not worthy to be your son no more, because I took my inheritance, went and flaunted it. Now, Lord, I just want to come and I just want to be a worker. I just want to be a plain worker. Just give me a job so I have somewhere to sleep and so I have something to eat. Make me as a hired servant. And he arose and came to his father, but when he was yet a great way off, his father saw him and had compassion on him and fell on his neck and kissed him. Now, his father was looking for him. His father knew. You know, daddies and mamas know. They know. Okay. Daddy know. I said, when I get this boy all this money, he gonna go and blow it. And he gonna wind up and won't. And he'll be back. It'll probably take him about 6 months to do it. He'll be back. So Daddy's sitting on the porch looking out over the road saying, he'll be here. I may be a month and a half, but he'll be here. Okay. And Daddy is looking for him because he knows what's going to happen to him. Verse 21, and the son said unto him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and in thy sight, and I am no more worthy to be called thy son. But the father cut him off right there. The father said to his servants, bring forth the best robe, put it on him, and put a ring on his hand and shoes on his feet, and bring hither the fatted calf and kill it, and let us eat and be merry. For this my son was dead and is alive again. He was lost and he is found. And they began to be merry. Now, What happened to him becoming a hired servant? Isn't that what he said? I'm no more worthy to be called thy son. Make me as one of thy hired servants.
Yeah, it's just like our Father in heaven.
Ah, when we sin and come to God and ask God forgiveness, God don't make us go all the way back and start all over again. He forgives us and we pick up right where we left off. Ain't God good? Imagine if every time you sin, you had to go back to the back of the line and start all over again. Now, that's what that boy was ready to do. He was ready to say, Father, just make me a higher. I'll start at the bottom of the road and work my way up. Yes, he did. He said, I've sinned and I'm no more worthy to be called your sons. Okay. And his daddy cut him off right there. He said, that's all I wanted to hear you say. I believe you have come to your senses. Okay. Daddy, can you imagine how many sleepless nights had his daddy gone through? Okay, because daddy, that's his son. Okay, he's a parent. Okay, now even though the son has done wrong, that's still a son. He still loves him, and that's why he was worried about it, because he did love him. Okay, they tell me they said grief is the price we pay for loving. Okay. When a loved one dies, we grieve over that loved one, and we grieve because we loved them. Grief is the price we pay for loving, but would none of us not love and just because we don't want to suffer no grief. Okay, we will love knowing we're gonna do some grieving. Okay, and that's the way God does us. Okay, we love him because he first loved us, and God don't want to see us hurt. It hurts his heart when we hurt because he loves us. And here's this little ignorant son going, give me my money and let me go. Daddy said, okay. You'll come to your senses down the road. And when he came to his senses, he was out there in the middle of that pig pen. How many of my daddy's hired servants got more food to eat than what they know what to do with? And here I am. I ain't got nothing to eat. I ain't got nowhere to stay. And all I got is this pig pen.
I don't know how many of us have been hungry enough that everything you think of, you all kind of food. You think of all kind of sandwiches, all kind of chicken, all kind of cake. You sauce that ramming down through the food. And boy, were you talking about hungry? I've been in a spot.
Well,
I relate real well
to where he was saying.
Only I didn't have to go as low as the man in Hope.
Yeah, right. You wasn't about to eat the slop.
Well, what I ended up doing, my brother and I went to a grocery store and asked to speak with the manager. And asked him, did he have anything that he would? And that's what I done.
Okay, all right.
And I done it more than one time. More than one time.
Well, blessedly. I've never been in a situation where I've been famished like that. I've been hungry. Okay, but I've always had a place to go where I can get something to eat. All right. But I've never had a place where I did not have any resources to get anything.
Yeah.
I think probably the hungriest I've ever been was we moved one time, and we were hungry because we didn't have the stove and everything hooked up to cook anything. Boy, when that stove finally got hooked up, mama, we hungry. Mama got it in, whooped up something right quick to tide us over. Okay. But thank God I've never been in a situation where I just didn't have any. I didn't have any food, and I didn't have any way of getting any food. Okay.
Well, we had to go through a prison war training,
And
and they feed
Oh,
you really
POW?
good
Uh-huh.
before they put you out there in the field for 4 days, and you have to live off the land.
Oh wow.
I said, okay, I can do this. But then they was throwing snails and all that stuff in there. I said, no, I can't make it. Now,
Bugs and crickets and.
when they take you to the camp, I said, the only way that you go to the camp is like when you're out there in the field. They say, okay, now be careful for rattlesnakes.
Yeah.
I immediately jumped up and they carried me to camp. But I never had like oatmeal, and that's what they was feeding you, just plain oatmeal.
Plain oatmeal, nothing in it.
I was tearing those bowls of oatmeal. You don't say what you won't
Now, there are some, I mean, when you look at United States, which is the greatest country in the world, and you think there are children in this country that are hungry, that go to bed hungry every night. Okay.
You ask the question. We don't look at the children being hungry. We look at the parents.
Exactly.
How can a parent? Because there's too much resources
There-
in
there's-
America
yes.
for
I
anybody
mean-
to be hungry.
I mean, especially here in California, everybody's giving away food.
Everybody's
Okay.
giving away
And there's no, but they have the food program that
Right.
Sister Sterling is in charge of, and they do it because some of these kids don't have any resources to eat in lunch.
But I don't understand that.
I don't either.
We're the richest.
The richest
Right.
nation in the world.
But the thing about it, nobody had to feed us when we were coming up.
Really? We got our own.
Yeah, we never went hungry.
No.
Nobody, the school didn't feed us.
No,
Everybody
that's
was
it.
taking us-
But
And were you picky about what you ate?
No.
if it was edible, we ate it.
Well, no, I don't want to just make me something else. Mama made it hot.
Ah.
That's what you ate. You went to bed hungry. That's all you want.
And one thing I can remember about my parents, they when they fix it, they didn't care whether you wanted it or not. And there it is. You eat it if you want it. If you don't, go to bed hungry. They could care less. And brother, if you went to bed hungry a couple 3 nights, you learned to love it. No. We learned to eat what was put on our plate.
I do now.
And you didn't argue about it. All right, now, so this boy comes back home. His father has greeted him with a kiss and a hug, and he has restored him to his sonship. Okay, and then his father to bring the ring and put on his finger, go out and kill the fatted calf. My son who was lost is now found. My son who was dead is now alive. Okay. And the father is overjoyed because this son has come to himself and he's back in the fold.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, but all right. Now, so far we have had the lost sheep. Okay, the lost sheep was found, and that sheep, that shepherd went home with that sheep in his arms, and it was found. Okay, the woman found that coin that was lost, and bless God, she was elated. And then now the son has been found. He's come home. The son is restored. The father is happy. All right. Now we come to the second son. Now a lot of people say that there were two lost sons. Not only was the prodigal son lost but got found, but then the older son was lost also. All right, let's see what they're going over talking about this other. Now his elder son was in the field, and as he came and drew nigh to the house, he heard music and dancing. Now, here this boy been out in the field working all day. And you know, it's quitting time, and he's walking home. He's probably falling behind the oxen, you know, the plow. He's bringing the oxen into the barn, okay, and bless God, he hears music playing. And he looks over there and he see people dancing out on the, what in the world going on over here? Daddy ain't told me nothing about he's having no birthday party or nothing. What's happening? Okay. And he proceeds and he goes on and he called one of the servants and asked, what does these things mean? What in the world's going on? Okay. Okay. I mean, and he said unto him, thy brother is come, and thy father has killed the fatted calf because he had received him safe and sound. Well, that was not good news to this brother. Okay. That was not what he wanted to hear. Okay. The servant said, oh, your brother has returned home, and your father has killed the fatted calf, and he has restored your brother to sonship, and everything is merry, and we just rejoicing and having a good time. Yeah. Look at his response, verse 28. And he was angry. Now, remember, it said that, back up, look at back to the verse 15 and look at verse 2. 15:2 says, and the Pharisees and the scribes murmured, saying, this man receiveth sinners and eat with them. Yeah. This was the Pharisees and the scribes, okay? They were angry. They murmured, they grumbled at Jesus because he received the sinners, the publicans and sinners. God, who would save a publican? Ye, they're despicable people. Now, when this boy comes back home, this older son is like the Pharisees and the scribes. He is angry. Number one, because his brother came back home.
Right.
Yeah.
Number two, because his father has restored him.
Yeah.
Killed the fatted calf. And they are now dancing and merry and having a good time.
But you know, so to me, he shouldn't. It wasn't his inheritance he gave to him.
Yeah,
No.
but he been working out there in that field all this time while his other one was all off.
You know, in spite of the attitude of that second son, the oldest son, I can kind of relate to him. I mean, there's no good so-and-so to win. And he done had his fling and come back home, and, you know, Daddy just welcomes him back and restores him. Oh, I'd be kind of be tired too, you know.
This guy out there working in the while they up there having
Yeah,
a
ain't
party.
nobody come to the field and told me to come on in. Your brother's back. We having a party. They left him out there in the field all day. We are human, okay, and this boy is human too. All right, so now so he was angry, and he wouldn't go in. I mean, he is so mad. He won't even go into the party. Okay, he ain't had dinner. He's I ain't about to go in there and eat. Now, watch what happens. Therefore came his father out and entreated him. So daddy said, if you won't come to me, I'll come to you.
Yeah.
And that's what fathers do. Okay. Now, the father could have taken the attitude, okay, if you're going to be like that, stay out there.
Yeah.
Okay. My son has come home. My son that was lost has come to himself, and he's come home, and he was dead, but now he's alive, and you're going to have that kind of attitude. Stay out there then if you don't want to come in.
Yeah.
But no. Even to the Pharisees and the scribes, Jesus kept reaching out to them.
Yeah.
Even when they rejected him, he kept reaching out to them.
Yeah.
See, people gonna do us wrong in this life.
Yes.
They gonna talk about us. They gonna misuse us. They gonna even abuse us.
No doubt about that.
But we don't get mad at them and curse them out and say, I don't want nothing to do with you. No, we still love them.
True, that's true.
The same way he is about us.
Absolutely.
That's just the way he is. I don't care how foolish.
Man, he's still
You're right.
and
Still reaches
in-
out.
in some instances we've done the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, we have been just as bad.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Something, Pastor, we're looking at it from the point of the son that we feel got a raw deal.
Yeah.
But see, this is what the story is showing, the compassion of that father.
That's it.
That's the whole
Which is
thing.
what
And that father is a type of Jesus, a
Yeah.
type of God.
Right,
God is the
right,
Father,
right.
and that father is a picture of God. Okay, that was what God did. He kept sending his son. He sent his son even when we didn't deserve.
Right,
He still sent him.
Yes.
Look at back at Matthew chapter 5, verses 11. No, verse 10. Starting in verse 10. He says, "Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you, persecute you, say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake."
Yeah.
He says, "Rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you." Okay, so he said, rejoice and be exceedingly glad. That even though that older son, even though they didn't send to the field and get him, even though Father has restored this no good younger son to his sonship, okay, he says you gotta rejoice and be exceedingly glad. Okay, now what? I don't think we're gonna have time to do it today. What time is it? I got 5 minutes. Okay, we're gonna have foot in the door in this. Okay. 29. And he answered and said to his father, "Lo, these many years do I serve thee, neither transgressed I at any time thy commandment, and yet thou never givest me a kid, and I might make merry with my friends." Now, he said, all these years, that was it. All these years, I've been a good son for you. I never broke your commandments. I've always been here by your side. I've always done what you wanted me to do. And bless God, you never gave me a kid to have my friends over and have a good party. Now, the optimum thing here, what the older son didn't do what he did out of love. Okay, because hey, he's throwing this up in his daddy's face now. Okay, he didn't do what because see, love never has to say I'm sorry. What you do for love, but what he did for recognition.
Yeah.
Okay, and when you work and you do things for recognition, it takes on a whole different atmosphere than what you do for love. Yes, ma'am. Selfish. He's being selfish. What he's being. Yeah. He's full of pride and he's being self-righteous. I mean, oh, woe is me. Oh, I ain't got no kid to kill for my friends, and we ain't having to have no party. I've been working my can off around here for you all these years, and you ain't never done that for me. Yeah. and see, that's where when you're self-righteous, you don't think about nothing but yourself. And I done worked my fingers to the bone around here. And what have I got to show for it? Nothing. So we have to remember only what we do for Christ
Yes, sir. Yes.
is gonna last.
That's what it is.
Okay? And when you do things out of love, you never have to ask for payment for it.
Amen.
You never have to bring it up and say, you know, I didn't get no thanks for this, you know. Daddy, you never gave me a kid to kill for my friends, you know. I mean, no. What he did for recognition.
Yeah.
And people, when you work for recognition, if you don't get recognized, you will let folk know about it.
Yeah, you sure will.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, that made me think of something. You know, there's some of us Christians that are that way in the
Yes,
South.
we are.
I mean,
Oh.
you don't say my name.
And when you are thanking folk for doing stuff, and this is one reason I never called names when I said thank you.
Yeah.
Because when you start calling names, if you miss somebody's name, you in trouble. Just say I thank you. And because when you start calling names, and you know, and instinctively you gonna forget, you gonna leave somebody out. Yes. There you go. You better praise them all if you praise one of them. All right. Any questions or comments as we get ready to close?